Hey, what's going on, everybody? Real Sports Updates here, back again. Breaking news: Jon Gruden has been fired. Jon Gruden has been fired as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Seen the story. I seen the story about an hour ago, maybe about an hour and a half ago. ESPN reported it. The NFL had delivered more emails that they found from Jon Gruden and I guess Bruce Allen. They delivered them to the Raiders about an hour and a half ago. Just in the middle of the Monday Night Football game, they announced, Adam Schefter announced that Jon Gruden is, well, I don't know if he's fired, but it says he's stepping down, but he's fired, pretty much. There were a bunch more emails using racist, homophobic, and a bunch of slurs and all that stuff. So it obviously was enough, and probably more there to get him fired. I don't know what is in. I'm curious to see what's in these emails. It said that him and Mark Davis met, and I guess they came to the conclusion that he would step down after that. I'm curious to know what's in these emails. I made a video about this, I believe on Friday, when the whole thing happened. Whatever it is, whatever's in these emails, it's got to be something. It's got to be a lot of. The volume of it has to be a lot, and he had to say something. There has to be stuff in there that can be deemed really offensive, and not even just a racist thing. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the whatever homophobic language, that was probably what got him fired. I'm sure the F word probably got him fired. And this is just coming from me as a black man. You can talk about black people. You can say, there's even some people who have said the N word that people can come back and forgive them, and they can say that they changed, whatever. But as soon as you start jumping into the homophobia, all bets are off. All bets are off, especially if you use the F word. And we all know what that is. And I'm not gonna say it here on YouTube because I'm not getting in trouble. But you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm thinking personally, this is my personal opinion. There's probably a bunch of those in there. There's probably a bunch of those F words in those in those emails. Bunch of F words, a bunch of they call it homophobic language. Other things that would qualify for that. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly. I don't know every word that entails because I'm not so much educated on that. But I'm pretty sure if there's any of that in those emails, I'm pretty sure that is probably the I'm sure that's probably the nail in the coffin. And especially with the Raiders, they have the first openly gay player on their roster. Carl Nassib is on their roster as well too. So, this is a very interesting time. Especially this is all coming off the heels of the Dave Chappelle stuff as well too. I am a sports channel, but I've been considering on making a video on that on the Dave Chappelle thing. Because there was some major news in that today as well. But this is coming off the heels of that. So this is just me looking at it, just my personal opinion. The homophobic stuff was probably a step too far. And whether you think that's right or wrong, that is the time that we live in now. And when people come out and say stuff like that, or if they can prove that you said that, obviously with all these emails and stuff, that's going to get you fired pretty much, every day of the week. So this is a very interesting situation. And I said on Friday, this is going to be a story, and the Raiders and the NFL are going to have to, they're going to have to take a stand, and they're going to have to choose which way they're going to go. And I gave it 72 hours, and it's pretty much been almost 72 hours. So, when you have something like this, when you have somebody who's, and these are obviously private conversations. So, it's obviously not right that he was talking this way, but you know, this I don't. You know, there's a part of this that is kind of doesn't really sit right with me. Just because I know the world and I know how things work. Everything is not this hunky-dory, all-inclusive place that everybody wants to make it seem like it. This is not how the world works. And when people get in their comfort zones, when they talk to people who they're comfortable with, they say things that are not socially acceptable, right? But they don't have to be, because you're not saying this socially. You're speaking in private to another party. And if that other party is not offended by what you say, then there's really no problem. And that's the thing. Gruden didn't do any of this publicly, so you know, it's kind of, and there's been a lot of, you know, a lot of people who have, I don't want to say come to his defense, but they can say, okay, you know, I've worked with him. I seen Mike Tirico last night on NBC. He came out and said, you know, I worked with Gruden and I never heard any of this type of stuff in a professional manner and all that stuff. And that is, in my eyes, that's, if, you know, he's not saying any of this stuff in a professional manner, then, you know, then there's really not an issue. But because the NFL is doing this investigation, and it's kind of like, you know, I don't know. This seems to be like Watergate-ish, you know, to kind of touch on politics. Watergate-ish, or like a Clinton type of scandal where the NFL is looking for one thing, they're looking for investigations on one thing, and they find another, a whole nother thing, and it opens a whole nother can of worms. It's very messy in nature. So I don't know, you know, I really don't know what to feel about this. You know, and especially considering that this is perceived to be long ago. We know the DeMaurice Smith thing happened 10 years ago. This other stuff that was being talked about, you know, just the reports that I've seen now, dating back to 7 years or something like that. If he's, you know, if he was doing any of this stuff currently, then I think that presents a bigger problem. But it seems like a lot of this stuff is years back, and in private, you know. So I don't know, man. And obviously he wasn't working you know, for the NFL at the time. He wasn't working for a team at the time. So it seems to be, you know, I don't know, man. It's just, you know, as I look at this objectively, you know, we can all pretty much be fired from our jobs for something like this. Because you know, I'm not above anybody. To my personal friends, we talk and we joke in a manner that is not socially acceptable. The masses are not going to find what me and my friends say, you know, acceptable. So I can get that. I can understand that from that standpoint. Because they're emails, I think I guess it's more professional because it is emails. Now, if these were text messages, then I don't think that this would be, I don't think this would be as big of a story if they were text messages. I don't want to say not as big, but I don't think that the pressure would be on the NFL and on the Raiders to fire Jon Gruden, because, you know, these were personal text messages, and really just a text message is a very, very personal way of communication. It's a very personal, you know, it's an extension of a conversation that you can have with somebody in the room. So it's a very, very, you know, this is a very fine line. You know, I don't know, man. This is very, very, this is really, really, this is very shocking to me. And, you know, just like I said in my other video, not reacting from this in an emotional standpoint. Just like I said, what I think got him fired. You know, especially what we've seen just in pop culture with the Kevin Hart thing a couple years ago, and all these other people who have said things, you know, dating back 10 to 12 years, you know, old tweets and stuff, and I don't know, man. This seems this does seem a little drastic, but you know, we'll see. This has to be justified by what's in the emails, and it has to be a lot of stuff. It has to be a lot of stuff in order for this to feel like it's justified. If there's not a lot of stuff, if there's not a big like treasure trove of stuff, if it's just one or two emails here, this is gonna be tough. This is very tough. And this is me speaking as a black man, not just a black man, but somebody who jokes and talks and you know, has said, you know, some wild stuff. Like, I have a military background. I've heard wild stuff in the military. I know people who are in like high positions, you know, within various industries, who have, you know, I've talked crazy stuff, you know, we've said stuff in joking manners and all that stuff, and to think that those people can lose their jobs over something they said to me 7-8 years ago is wild. That's a really wild thought. And you know, it doesn't really, I mean, I just have to be honest, it really doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem right. Like I said, unless there's a treasure trove of evidence and we can see that this guy is clearly a racist, or, you know, clearly hates people for the way that they look or how they live their lives. Unless there's that evidence, which is, you know, in a bunch of emails, and he's just pouring his heart out about how he really feels. If that's not there, if it's anything short of that, this don't feel justified. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm sure the news is going to continue to cover this. This story is going to continue to evolve. This is going to lead off, you know, every sports show, you know, tomorrow morning and all of that. So we'll see how this turns out. And hopefully we get some of some transcripts of some of these emails, some of these communications that Jon Gruden was having, who he was having them with, what the context of it was, and everything. Like, we need the whole entire story before I believe we can say, okay, this is the right thing to do, or this was the wrong thing to do. Right now, like, I'm just like, I'm kind of on the side of like, this might be a little drastic, but there might be something there that, you know, that justifies this. We don't know yet, though. We don't know yet, and I encourage everybody to not be emotional about this. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Don't get on Twitter talking crazy and stuff. Let's let the story evolve. You know, I'm all for giving everybody a fair chance and giving everybody the you know, the respect that I would want if I was in that position. So let's you know, slow down on the criticism and celebrating, and this was the right thing to do, and this and that and blah blah blah, because it could be you next. You never know. So let's all slow down. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the story turns into, and let's see if they make the right move or not. And that's all we can do right now. This news is fresh. It's gonna be breaking. It's obviously, you know, this is breaking. You know, all we can do is just wait and see what's going on. Just like I said in my previous video, you know, I disagree with Gruden's comments. They were racist, obviously, but I'm not with the cancel culture stuff. And this seems to be, you know, very reminiscent of some of the cancel culture stuff. So we'll see. This is a breaking story. There's gonna be more to it. And as news drops, I'm gonna keep doing videos about this. I want to see what's going to go on with this. So let's see what happens, and you know, we'll pick it up from there as more news comes out. But yeah, breaking story. Jon Gruden parting ways with the Las Vegas Raiders. For right now, you know, for more emails, and we will see what happens next. So yeah, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment, hit the comments, man. Let me know what you guys feel. I'm gonna be sure. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people feel the same way that I do right now. But hit the comments. Let me know how you feel. And you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Definitely gonna be more on this to come though. Definitely more. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching.